Welcome aboard, fellow esports enthusiasts. We are stepping away a bit from the esports arena where all the action goes down. It's time to have a deep conversation about what happens literally in the games. With the guy that I've got right here with me, I think literally everybody knows him within the esports scene in Ghana. He's one of the most dominant. I don't want to call him a veteran yet because I don't think he's played too many years within the esports scene in Ghana. Of course, the Mortal Kombat scene, but within a short stint. That's like dominant every single year, winning titles after titles after titles. I'm sure some of you have guessed who this guy is already. I'm here with the one and only BabyFox in the flesh, coming off of the back of an impressive win in Nigeria, GamrX3 champion. The guy literally wins everything, and it's a pleasure to have him here with us. So first of all, congratulations on winning the tournament, and let's go for the VGA ESPORTS talk.
BabyFox is your tournament champion for GamrX 2024 Exodus.
All right, so I've got him here with me, BabyFox. We don't usually get you to speak, but you're welcome to the show.
Thanks, sir.
All right, so how many? In fact, when did you start playing Mortal Kombat, and how? But when did you also start playing competitively?
I started playing Mortal Kombat 4 when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. And then I'm sure we all played Mortal Kombat 4 at some point. But I started playing more seriously when I was around 9 years old.
That was when you played your first tournament?
No. That was when we started watching these tournaments
the pros,
in the US. Yeah, we still watching pro players. So I have 3 brothers, right? So I remember we got our first PS3 around 2011, and then the PS3 came with the Mortal Kombat 9 CD, right? So we first started playing very casually, and then as we played, we were really enjoying the game. And then we started searching for videos online about how to play the game and stuff. So that's how we even first saw the online sports world for Mortal Kombat. So from there, our improvements literally skyrocketed. But by then we hadn't played any other Ghanaian player, just amongst ourselves. So naturally, we thought we were the best in Ghana. So it wasn't until after 2 years when one of my brothers said he knows someone who is organizing a tournament, right? And then he wants us to participate.
So all 4 of you had to play?
Yeah, exactly. Charlie. I think by then I was probably 10. Yeah, still in class 4 or class 3.
Hey, in my time in this one, I've not seen any 10-year-old in any tournament, but tell us how it went.
Yeah, so I went there and people were really shocked, see this scrawny little child right in the midst of grown adults. Yeah, the tournament began and I did really well. I didn't win. I think I came 3rd or 4th place.
Wow.
Yeah. But then they were still really impressed by my gameplay. So they made me play the winner of the tournament. He's called Labaji. And I think our first game, I gave him flawless victory. That was the first round. And I just I can't remember the exact score, but I remember I did really well. So after I won that set, they literally carried me on their shoulders. And I think it was around that time they also coined me the name BabyFox.
So that was where the name BabyFox actually came. Oh, okay.
I think around that time Sonic Fox was also really young, and we were both using the same characters. So they named me Baby, and they just removed the Fox from Sonic Fox, and then they
gave it to you. Yeah, that's an incredible story. That's very, very interesting. Now, so comparing your era of dominance from MKX to 11 to MK1, we've heard your name a lot. But before you, there was your brother, Assassin, because every single time we hear who's the best MK player in Ghana, and they probably mention your brother playing in the household against you 4 playing against each other. I know that's where the competitive edge comes, because of course the brothers, when the competitive edge was there, who was winning at the time?
Okay. So in MK9, I think it was Jaffa and Abdullah. I think frankly they were the better players. Yes. In MK9 they were definitely better than me. When we moved to MKX, at the beginning, I think they were still better than me. But then at some point I just became really good because like I was always playing ranked online and you know having practice while they were busy with school. Yeah, so I think it was during MKX that I became like markedly better than them.
Wow, that's an incredible story, and that's the story that has led us here today, where you are possibly the most known MK player in Ghana. You're the most dominant. You've won a lot of titles, like you said. But let's focus on your recent title, which I think that speaks to your greatness. GamrX is not a tournament that is new to you. You were there last year. Unfortunately, last year you had to come in second in the final. This year you were able to go all the way. What did you have this year that you think you didn't have last year that gave you the win this year?
I think it's just because Hamza didn't come back.
That's like the honest truth I've heard.
That's just the honest truth. Like, he just didn't come.
The way you criticize your gameplay, is that how you do that every single tournament? Like, you're skeptical of how you play. Even if you win, you kind of tell to yourself, okay, I didn't play well.
Well, I try to be as objective as possible. Like, I would go back and rewatch my matches, like the streams, see where I made mistakes, and if I see that, you know, I did really well, then I wouldn't criticize myself. And then, like, when I see certain things that I missed, certain opportunities, which I probably even recognize during the game itself, I was really hard on myself. I would be really hard on myself, and I think that also helps me to like put in the practice and like keep the passion going. That's
brilliant. So out of all the tournaments that you've won, maybe this year or last year, which tournament do you feel like, yeah, I played at my peak and there was literally nobody stopping me? Because I have one in mind. That was the only tournament I interviewed you and you felt like you said you were the best in Ghana. Because every single time I was asking you were mentioning different names, so you felt like you weren't at the top. But I've just got one in mind. I want to see if it correlates.
Okay. Are we including like international tournaments?
Yeah.
Then I think the tournament that I felt like I played the best, honestly, and I was so proud of myself, was the one I played in the United States in a certain tournament hosted by this German guy. Like, in that tournament, there were a lot of pros, like people I literally used to watch growing up, like Honeybee, I think he was the only one, and VGA, Makoran, and out of all those people, like, I managed to somehow get top 5. So I didn't win, but like I was really impressed by my performance, and I think that's the happiest I've like you've been playing a tournament. Yeah.
All right, interesting. The one I had in mind actually was the Chosen Championships, because that was the only time that actually you feel like you were the best, and I hope the team can pull it out there, the interview, and you said you feel like you were on top because you literally beat everyone.
Back to that would be a really close second.
That's a close second, yeah.
Very close.
Because I know you were really excited about that one. Then you spoke of emotion. You were speaking of how happy you were when you won the tournament in US. You don't show a lot of emotion. You are MK's Iceman, because I had the pleasure of being at GamrX. I've had the pleasure of watching you every single time, and when you're even in a difficult situation and we look at your face, it's still like the same gesture that you had from start to finish. Is this something that you've always had, or is this something that you try to not show too much emotion to maybe give your opponent some idea of you panicking or anything?
I think it's happened as, you know, like as I gained more experience, I realized that like learning to shut off your emotions, like your nerves, your expectations, just playing like in the moment, just you and your opponent, like it just helped me play much better. Because before this tournament, like when I was now getting some recognition, I was still good, but then whenever I came to tournaments, I got really nervous, and that influence it really affected my gameplay. Yeah, so I just learned to shut off my emotions during games, like just forget about pressures and like all that, and it helped. That's
incredible. BabyFox being there was I don't think I've seen it yet. But back to GamrX, and there's something I've noticed with you. Throughout the whole of the tournament, you are one of those players that doesn't stick with one character. I don't know if this is right, but in GamrX, I think in the final or in the semi-finals, you were using Asha, and she was more or less like the dominant one. Is it a strategy from you that during the tournament, like you be switching things up so guys can't read your game style, or like you just go with the flow?
I think it kind of depends on the tournament I'm playing, right? If it's a really high stakes tournament, and I would stick with Asha throughout.
That's for MK1. That's for MK1.
That's for MK1, yes. Because like even though she's not that enjoyable to use. Like, she's still a very stable
But she gets the job done.
Yeah, she gets the job done.
Yeah.
And when it comes to tournaments where the stakes aren't as high, I definitely try to experiment, like use different characters and switch back when I'm having any difficulty. Yes, I think that's just how it is. And like the nice thing about switching up characters is that, like, in your mind you always have a backup plan, right? For instance, like say I picked my main character, my best character, which is Ashra, and I lost the first game. I don't even think I would be able to like keep myself, composed throughout. Maybe some slight nerves would kick in because
like doubts that, hey, I'm using my best character and I'm still losing.
And I lost the first game, right? So I try to like play other characters, sort of gauge my opponents, like gameplay and
the level of difficulty of which. Okay.
And then we'll just go from there. If they do well and they win, like even like 2-1 in the first of 3. I still have that confidence that I'll just come back with that.
All right, I think that's a brilliant strategy. But comparing tournaments in Ghana to the one we just went for, GamrX in Nigeria, in Ghana you've got the crowd, and the crowd, like literally most of them are Ghanaians, and of course you've got some people supporting you, a lot of people supporting you, maybe others supporting the opponent. But in Nigeria, I think everybody, or maybe 90%, were your opponent. At some time I was in the crowd and you were requesting for a headset. How do you deal with like almost a lot of people supporting the opponent to maybe they want someone to beat you because they feel like you're the best there? How do you deal with like the crowd around, and then how are you able to beat everybody?
Oh, I think that first game I played, the first 2 games I played, without like the game sounds, I was really not happy whilst playing the tournament. Like, yeah,
because I remember you complaining.
Yeah, having to hear the spectators like talking about the game, like
the commentators too,
even being one-sided, like towards their fellow countryman. Like, it didn't really affect me as much, but it was still kind of annoying having that, that loud speaker like blasting in my ears. In terms of whether I was like pressured or tilted by them supporting the other player, it kind of made me even more eager to beat the guy.
Oh, okay.
In front of all of them. So yeah, I think that's the only problem I encountered during the tournament itself. Just the the loudness of the commentators.
That's just brilliant. But judging from what you've been through and like your whole of your esports career, the short one as we call it, but short but very dominant, do you feel like you're at that stage in your career where if there's a tournament outside and Ghana has the opportunity to take you there, do you feel like you're ready to take on the world?
It's a very difficult question because the thing is, I'm not I don't have a set plan for my career in terms of Mortal Kombat. Like, I think I'm leaning more towards the educative side, the schoolwork side. So I don't have set plans for like my future career in MK. So talking about taking it to the next level, trying to push myself harder, I don't know if I have enough passion for that, because like tournaments are stressful. They are really stressful. But I'll definitely still, like play some of the top players, see where I'm at, whether like I have that shot, whether I have that chance or the skill to, face them. If I see like, I'm playing really well against even the top players, like the best of the best, then I'll definitely like try to play international tournaments and maybe even like go full-time gaming.
Wow. If BabyFox decides to take this thing serious, I'm sure it's going to be incredible, because I for one want to see you on the big stage. Like when we compare the champions we have in different genre of games, when we speak of FC24, like we have really good players. We've got eFootball, Medicine dominating, but you're the only one that kind of, when you go internationally, you kind of feel like, yeah, BabyFox gives a lot more hope than the others. Even though the others are also like putting in the work, you kind of feel like BabyFox might just be the one to bring that medal home. But we hope that does that for you. But before you go, I wanted to put you in a very tough spot. I know this one's going to be difficult to answer. Before we go, you can add yourself or you can take yourself out. I want you to name the top 5 Mortal Kombat 1 players this year for you, in your opinion, in Ghana. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll remove
yourself.
Myself, right?
Yeah, but we want them in order. So maybe from like 5 to 1 or 1 to 5.
Okay. So I'll try and go solely like by tournament wins. Like I think that's the best way. Like the consistency in placement and all that. And I think the first will probably be Wiley. I know people are surprised I mentioned Wiley as I don't have, that much of a hard time against him and have much harder times like against other opponents. But like just based off of tournament winnings and consistency, like he definitely like gets the top spots. Now I think the second opponent, who is kind of like my, how do I put it? Like my Achilles heel, I'll put it that way. Like so far we've had an even score in tournaments, like in terms of wins. That would definitely be Khalifa God.
Good. Yes, I've heard you mention his name sometime.
Yeah, like I've played him and I've played like other players. In terms of raw skill, like he's really, really good. I would argue like in terms of raw skill, he's better than Wiley. But I'm just trying to like
be like
based on tournament wins, right. Because he's not very consistent. Yeah, even though he's really good, he kind of struggles probably with nerves
sometimes.
Yeah. So the third player that I would go for, I think this is where it starts getting really difficult.
Because I know there are a lot of good MK players.
Yeah, there are lots of good MK players. Hold on. Okay. So the third player I would go for.
I beg, for those watching, we put him on the spot. So if you don't hear your name, please, it's because he's on the spot. So maybe he might have forgot. But who comes off the top of your head? Like for the last 3 players, third, fourth, and fifth.
I really want to say like Fizzy, just based off of his performance in the previous game. Like he has the talent. Like, but I think that like the odds have been against him. Like he doesn't have a console. He So yeah, he doesn't really play regularly. And I think so far he has just played one tournament. And even that he got like, was it third place? Yeah, third place. Yeah. So so it's difficult, but I'll say like Fizzy Dipsy would be the third attack. Yeah, GR Khalifa God. So, and the fourth, I would say the fourth and fifth is between my brother Assassin and
I was waiting to hear his name.
Okay, I think the fourth and fifth places will be between 3 players. That's Assassin, Slayer, and Mr. Wayne. Yeah, I think it would be between them. In terms of like which comes before which, it's really hard
to put them. Okay, yeah. We'll take it. We'll take it. I know that was tough on you getting, but for the final part, I think I skipped this a bit, but we have to come to the importance of the team you're in. And I feel like they are one of those low-key teams that have really pushed you to where you are now. Gamer Republic. I think GamrX Republic, they've done like a wonderful job. And I was asking you the other time why when you win tournaments, I don't see the title JR BabyFox, but you were telling me that's actually like your gaming title, that's your gaming ID. Tell us how important JR is to you. I know you've been with them throughout literally the whole time. What they've done for you that like really sticks in your brain and be like, yeah, this team is the right team for me.
Well, from the very beginning, they basically treated me like family. So like, usually in contracts, like in those like professional contracts where players are assigned to teams, there's very little emotional attachment, right? So it's very easy to just come and go whenever they
like
want.
A business.
Exactly. Like, so many teams have offered to like sign me up with like, you know, some rewards and okay, I won't say rewards, just
like signing bonuses and everything. Yeah.
But then I have a very strong attachment to Gamer Republic because like from the very beginning they've pushed me, like they've given me the tools to be able to like practice, like especially Lavaji, like he has done so much for me that I don't even know where to start. Like in terms of like everything like I do now was possible because of, you know, the way they helped me, you know, gauge my talents, practice, and yeah. So like, I don't really intend on leaving that team soon. Even though now it's not as active
as it was.
There are plans to, you know, like
revamp it
and revamp it. Yeah.
That was what we're looking to hear, and that's all for you guys. For those who want to be professional players. Just like BabyFox said, his team is literally family to him, and that's what propelled him to this stage. So there you heard from him himself, the most dominant MK player currently, BabyFox. Let's correct that, GR BabyFox, the GamrX3 Exodus Mortal Kombat 1 champion, here with us. We had a wonderful conversation. I hope you learned something from his journey. I hope we can have another chance to speak to him more in depth about how Mortal Kombat has treated him and how the esports team has treated him as well. I wanted to ask you how much money you've made through tournament winnings, but we'll leave that for another day. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, to the VGA ESPORTS show. More of this exclusive content coming. Make sure to stay tuned. All right, for the last one, kindly cheers again. Thank you for coming, and we'll catch you guys some other time.